bring them home now. Girl, we love it. Me and FREDA behind the scenes just singing. Okay, that forever will stand the test of time. My goodness. You know, FREDA, about a year and a half ago, my first interview with you, I asked you who was the guy sitting in on this song with you, and you said, I do not remember his name. Was it just somebody they called into the studio?
Steve Manchin.
Steve Manchin.
Yeah, he passed away recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was with, I think, that group called 100 Proof Aged and Soul.
Was he the same guy that sat in?
Manchin, right? Steve Manchin.
Yeah, was he the same guy that sat in on that Supreme song? Cause his voice is so memorable.
What Supreme song?
Oh, somebody in the chat room help me out. Diana Ross and the Supremes did a song, and
I doubt it.
And she had that male voice. Oh, I can't think of the song now. Dave the Rave, I know you know what I'm talking about. Welcome to the chat room, Crystal. I know you know the song I'm talking about, Dave the Rave. There was a male voice that sat in on a Supreme tune and just made it excellent. And it sounds just like him. Okay, so FREDA, are you still working with artists or artists?
Oh, Artist Phillips?
Yes, Artist Phillips.
Well, I have been working with artists. Right now, we have been doing. I did some material with artists. I have a song out on iTunes now called "He Gained the World But Lost His Soul," and then I have the other one. It's called "Free Me from My Freedom."
Yes, we played that one here.
Written by Angelo Bonds out of Detroit and produced by Artist Phillips. And then "I'm Not Supposed to Love You Anymore."
Oh, okay. Now, Artiste, everything you do, he emails me and sends it to me. And Brenda put this up, but he did not email me this one. He gained the world but lost his soul.
Yeah, he gained the world but lost his soul.
But when you called me today and I was asking you what songs would you like me to push, because they're, you know, I've got plenty. I got our favorites, and you told me about this one. I did not know about it. And I went right to iTunes and bought it. And I'm telling you, I liked it very much.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yes,
good.
Yes, I did. And so we're going to be playing that right here. And, you know, I also have I do a gospel show 4 days a week, every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 9 in the morning. And it's called Words of Inspiration and Prayer with Pastor Mitty Collier. And that one is going to make the gospel show playlist.
All right.
I thought it was great. And Pastor Collier brings the word, and I just sit in and bring the old school gospel and some new. But this one is most definitely going to make the gospel playlist.
Yeah, because it has such a positive message.
Yes, it does. Like bring the boys home.
It has a positive message, you know, about like why people kind of like sacrifice, like sell their souls for rock and roll. You know, and especially like they start out in the church, you know, and then all of a sudden they just somehow they lose it. Even look at Whitney. She started out in the church.
Yeah.
You know, and then for some reason I guess she had this addictive personality.
Yeah.
In her chromosomes or her genes, where she just had to, for some reason, you know, let these drugs. She had to take these drugs.
Yeah, and
I don't understand that.
You know, FREDA, I am so grateful for my mom and dad. They didn't press my nose in the Bible or anything, but my father was a minister. I can remember my mother telling him a lot of the times that God called you to preach, not these kids, you know, let them kind of live a normal life. But we always saw my dad reading the Bible. We always prayed breakfast, lunch, and dinner before we ate. Right. And we were just always taught those right things. You know, you just do right. Don't you worry about what other folks do. You just do right. And all those things sustained me in this business. Thank God, you know, because every time you go, somebody hears you sing, they tell you how great you are, and the next thing, as soon as you go to talk to them, they're trying to get you on the couch. No, that ain't what you told me we were coming here for.
Right.
You know, and you need to cut another deal.
Absolutely, you need to like rethink your
I need to rethink this deal.
Rethink it.
You know, I always laugh a little bit, because I don't badmouth anybody in the music business. There's what good is it gonna do you? But I can remember when James Brown hired me. He walked into an Augusta nightclub and heard me singing, and he told Danny Ray and Martha Washington, hire her. And I was in the midst of doing Jennifer Holiday, and I'm telling you, as I saw these people through the lights on stage, they're making way for him, and people are getting up and they're getting tables in, and I realized it was James Brown with his cape, and Danny Ray was, around him and shuffling, and so I do the encore again, and the club is packed with 500 people or so, and they're screaming. And as I stepped off the stage, Danny Ray stepped up and handed his hand to me and said, "You're wonderful, and Mr. Brown wants you to be a backup singer for him. Want to hire you?" And I said, "James Brown?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Are you sure he wants me?" And he said, yeah, Mr. Brown wants you. And I said, "That was James Brown. Where is he?" And he said, "Well, he left." Well, that's James Brown's way. Bootsy Collins said he wasn't going to never tell you that you were good. He wasn't going to never tell you that you did a good job. And as soon as I go on the road, Martha comes to me our first night and says, "It's 4:35 in the morning. We've had one hell of a day. And Martha says, Mr. Brown wants to see you." And I looked at her, I said, "It's 4:35 in the morning."
Right.
And I said, "I tell him I'm not going." He saw me at the concert tonight. He saw me on the bus today. I'm not going.
Right.
I tell him I'll see him in the morning at an appropriate hour. And she was having a fit. "Brenda, you don't tell James. Don't nobody tell James." No. I said, "That is booty call time."
Yeah, that was a little unusual. Very unusual.
Yeah, I said, "That's booty call time." And you tell James Brown that if he wants me to be in the bed with him and singing on the stage, we got to retalk this contract.
Right.
Because he didn't tell me nothing about hoeing. Hoeing is extra money.
He's not paying you for that.
No, we need to retalk this deal. Brenda, you can't know. He eventually fired me. He said I was disobedient, and that's okay because I didn't come out there to sleep with him.
Right.
Right. And I just never lowered myself, Freda. If you say I can sing, then let's deal with the singing. But otherwise.
And you were absolutely correct.
Yeah, you got to stand up for yourself, and I wasn't going to sell my soul.
Right.
And I didn't want your drugs.
I heard that he ran his ship like
girl, like a boot camp
or something.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I've heard this from other people, and that kind of person, I could never work for.
Yes, sir. I didn't stay with them very long because I could not. I wasn't gonna be submissive like that. I will be on time. I will be dressed. I will know my parts. But you're not going to be sleeping with me.
Yeah.
And he was not my kind. I like college boys.
Yeah. Well, hey, I agree with you.
Yeah. So we didn't stay together long, but you know what? It spoke volumes that he heard me one time and he hired me.
Well,
because nice. I'll tell you what, because James Brown don't want nobody on his stage that can't sing and can't play. And to this day, baddest band I ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Baddest band I ever heard in my life. But I didn't know anything about him beating Tammy Terrell into another zone. But I'm not surprised at all. But, like I said, that spoke volumes. He hired me, and that's what I put on my resume. He walked into a nightclub, and he hired me. And so I don't think I really knew how well I could sing until James Brown did that, and then it just gave me great confidence. And so I never regret being in this business. I never regret telling him no, because I just wasn't gonna sell my soul, and I did not want the drugs.
Well, you don't have to do that. So you have to make your own decisions and do your own thing and do what you feel is right. You did what you thought was right.
Okay. Well, my darling, you have been with me for an hour, and I do so much appreciate it. So before I let you go, I am going to play He Gained the World But Lost His Soul, and then I'll come back and let you say goodbye to us. It has been so wonderful. Y'all, you're up all night with Brenda White and the fantabulous FREDA PAYNE. This is He Gained the World But Lost His Soul.
He started out in the church, singing in the gospel choir. Every Sunday he sang that solo that made the sisters shout and cry. The children danced the Holy Ghost when he sang and played his tambourine. After church he'd tell the preacher about all his plans and dreams. Now he gained the world, but he lost his soul. For a dream to be number one in rock and roll. He gained the world, but he lost his soul. For a dream to be number one in rock and roll. It hurt the congregation when they found out the news that he stopped singing for the Lord and started singing that rhythm and blues. Don't blame it on the music for the way he changed.